So hello everyone. For those who are new here, my name is Oskar, and in the meantime I will try to turn on my presentation. Jakub, thank you for a wonderful presentation of the SVG. I'm very happy you did not forget to tell that somebody actually has to design them.
All right. And not me, I forgot to say.
Okay. So just a little second, Microsoft is restarting. Good. So design tools. Jakub mentioned something about people who are designing little things which makes the web more enjoyable, more easy to understand, little nicer also sometimes. I would like to ask you if you do know where this background comes from.
Uber.
Who said that? Thank you very much. Does anyone knows Uber, the company? Sort of taxi drivers, yeah. It's here because I would like to show you how in Uber's mind, designing something to look aesthetically beautiful does not necessarily have to mean that their app has to be filled with these aesthetics. Actually, their app looks very much different. This is true, this is Uber. It's very streamlined. It uses just a basic touches, just basic buttons, and it goes for function 100%. It doesn't necessarily have to tell the user that we are using this wonderful background. Even though this is a screenshot of the splash screen when you start the application in the phone, they obviously have to have tools to create that. They have to have tools to make it look wonderful, and they also have to have tools which tells them whether it's useful or not to use it in the app. In Actum, we are also having some tools because we are doing some design, some websites. And how do we design them is based on a very simple process. Ratibor was the one who was showing this process 2 years to me ago, and I hope I did not forget it. But it all starts. Do you know where the business process? Do you know where the design process starts? It starts with business. I already said that. Everything starts with business. We need to have people who understand that, who go to client, ask them every question they have, and they set up the basic requirements down to some documents and to briefs which other people read. UX designers read it and transform it into wireframes. These are the pages which make sure that the user goes with the flow where we want him to do, and they navigate him to the final stage of conversion, which brings money. That's what we needed. After we have wireframes, it goes to graphic department, mostly me, but nowadays even to some other people. And when the graphic is done, it's a reference for coders, and the process continues to other development phases. These are not important for us right now, but these are very important for Actum. Here you can see these little arrows, which are the most crucial part of the whole process. Before we can go to wireframes, we have to make sure that all business requirements are described, and that's the point when we start to sketch. And when we have a sketch, we need to show it to the client. Client wants to see it the soonest possible at the highest quality possible. So we need to have a tool to do that, to do it fast and right. The same works with the second point. After wireframes are ready, they go to graphic designers. They also need to have some tools how to rapidly turn those wireframes into the result, which again goes to the client, is presented. It has to be agreed upon, and that's the final stage when we go to HTML. So there's a lot of tools to work with. We have to know all of them, and we have to choose carefully which one of them works well and which one of them doesn't. So in ideal world, let's sum it up in this way. For client, we need to have one environment where he sees the prototype of his app. We will start with the prototype. And imagine the website is already done. He calls back and he says, I want something new. I want something to enrich. I want something changed. I want some change. So how do we make sure that we can skip this linear process from business to wireframes to graphics to HTML? How can we skip, and how can we still be sure that client will be happy and that we know what we are doing. When the new idea comes, there has to be a tool which I'm lost. I speak too much. Good, let me take it back. Imagine you have a website where you need to enrich something. So you put the new idea in, you put it into wireframes, you sketch it rapidly, show it to client. Is that your idea, what you wanted? He say yes or no, you agreed. After you have this, you can go to test phase, which is necessary to validate whether the idea was right or wrong. With those data, and only with those data, we are able to tell the client, okay, we are going to execute your new idea because now we are sure that it's going to be better for your site, and that leads to actionable decision. So what are the tools which we use for prototyping, which is the most crucial part here to be able to do it fast, cheap, cheapest possible, not cheap, but cheapest possible, and rapidly. What we use looks like this. How many of you have seen Acture actually? 1, 2, 3. So like 1% of the people here. Okay, I also saw it. What you have here is a look at Metro homepage. Who saw Metro homepage? There are people who didn't see it.
Really?
No.
Do you know the company? What we have here, imagine Metro calls us and they say, we need a button with a different wording. Can you please check if it's a good idea, because we think the button we have there is not working well, and data show us that people are confused. So this has to go to Denisa or me or Clara or somebody who's working on it, and we have to redesign the wireframes first so that we can put that to users. Not that we are doing it, but in ideal world, imagine that. Imagine it would be more complicated. With this tool, we can sketch it up, we can talk it with the client, do some little changes, and then there's this little button up there, which is the most crucial part of the whole software. When we publish this website to online environment, we can send that back to the clients and we can set up the testing in the real world. So that's the most important part why we are doing this. I would like to maybe show you a little demo how the online environment looks like.
What is the tool name?
Acture. I don't know how is it written, but we say Acture. I will send you the
It's written
link.
in the form actually. I saw it. It was AXCTURE.
Perfect. Yeah.
It was in the form that you presented.
Good. It looks slightly the same, just like in the software. Just the environment here is a normal browser, and it lives on the link, which could be sent anywhere, and it helps us to set up the scenario when we may say, okay, let's find 10 people and let's test whether we are able to execute login, for example, or registration process. And we don't need to have a final design. We don't need to have a final graphics to do that, because this can be done in one day by one person, and we can run the test and we can already explore whether there are some mistakes, which might happen occasionally. And if they do, we can sketch it. We can sketch changes here rapidly back. So, but other than that, yeah. So what we would like to do with that, you can imagine it may look slightly better. We may have more colors here. We may have buttons which looks like regular buttons on the Metro website, because for some users it's confusing to see this environment. Even when I hide this panel, which makes it look sort of like the real example, it's still for some people confusing. So what Denisa and what the whole UX team would like to do is that in Acture we would like to design the most precise version of the wireframes themselves, because that's what we would call high-end mockups, right? Okay. We can go back to. Mm-hmm. I will do it this way. This is better. and faster, as you can see. Yeah, perfect.
Lílej slide.
Tu prostřední. Tu. Nic. No.
Almost perfect.
Klikni, něco udělej.
Klikám.
Windows.
It's not in Windows. It's it's probably something else here.
Yeah.
But guys, if you know how to help me, I would appreciate some help.
No, we are enjoying this.
Best part of your presentation so far.
No, ne, nic nezamrzlo, jenom já jsem zamrznul asi, to tak vypadá. Yes. Yeah, just a little summary. Good. So that's what we are using here. Once again, the crucial characteristics of this tool is that it's very fast for creating new things. You don't have to go through 5 people to have one button edit. It has some libraries in it, so something which is already developed, you don't have to use it again. You can just use the result of other people. You can cooperate somehow if you don't delete other people's work. It's cool, and it has this wonderful publishing functionality which helps us to test things. And after we are done with test, we can go. I have a video which some told me I can click on and it will run. So I will try the next feature of PowerPoint. Okay. The sound is very subtle, so take a look. This is what people in Adobe are doing. They have new tool, which helps us to be even faster, be even more precise on how the final product will look like. And obviously that's how websites are designed. You have to believe this ad, it's true. It's I just can't wait to see it in person. This is very fast way how we can deliver to the client the results which are actually stunning. I would love to see this in person. And yeah, you can see you can publish the whole thing to the client. You can test whether it's working, and that's Adobe Experience Design. This is another step where we might be able to go in the future, because after we will do some analysis whether this tool really helps us to be even better than in actual. Then there's no reason why not to buy it. As you can imagine, it has all the last features. These are just 1 month old. They have all the stuff. They have icons in vectors, just like Jakub was mentioning, which looks great on Retina displays. They have everything. Multi-screen arbot, so that we can draw the lines in between different screens, so that the user can see how the app will actually behave when he's flowing to some direction. It seamlessly integrates with Photoshop, Illustrator, which is very cool because we are already using these tools. And the best thing of all is that it's now available for some people out here. It's not ready yet for some business platform, some serious platform, but some people can try it and use it. So we hope it will be for Windows also in the future. That's very much it. I would like to answer any questions if you have.
What's the price?
It's definitely cheaper than not to buy it. To buy it, because the investment comes back, hopefully, in the right hands.
Yours.
No, I don't know, all of us, all the design team. The price I think goes for the whole subscription for the Creative Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So if you buy Creative Cloud, you have access. You might be able to have access, but I'm not sure.
How the 10 people are chosen by for testing, and either do they see exactly this prototype when they're testing?
So there are 2 questions. First, how they are chosen. The second, what they are testing.
Yeah.
Okay, they are chosen either randomly or by some specific design. If we test if we would test Uber, let's say, you might get the idea that you want that app to be ready for people who are drunk. You might be able for people, but you do know that they will have smartphone most likely. So that gives you a clue how to choose your people for testing.
It's like real client, yes? The end client for testing or not?
If it doesn't break the design in the terms, if they would already know something which would make the results bad, then no. But then yes, you can choose any person. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other question? The second?
Another question was what they're actually seeing when they're testing. That depends on what you have. You can test wireframes. We did this for back eyes. You can test wireframes whether user is able to fill some goal. For example, make a registration on the newsletter.
Okay.
You don't need a final graphic for that, even though it would be better, but it's not cheaper in the end. So that's why you choose to test it on this environment.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Anything else? So our management is happy to expect Adobe licenses and Apple computers.
Give me it. I will sign.
I will send you an email. Thank you.
Okay.